Hello everyone, it's Cheryl Millett live at 5 Mondays on Facebook. I just wanted to touch base on a couple of things. There's a number of things that happen throughout the week, and I just try to bring what kind of comes up into these weekly videos, and I guess that's kind of fun, right? Just kind of going with it. Just wanted to talk today about, there was a blog I wrote. I decided to title it Money, Power, and Outcome. And the reason why money, power, outcome is important for everyone, well, you may not think so, but if you don't, then it's just a matter of not wanting to I guess, be in the know of some of the things that are being shared by people who have positions in positions in big business, or positions in research, or positions in this case science and medical journals. So this blog, sure, it's on my website. You can go get the details because all the links are there. But the key thing is understanding that these people, I mean, editors-in-chiefs of these medical magazines will say that, here, I'm just going to get this quote here. This might be a little bit better. So these are doctors, first and foremost, of these research journals or these medical journals. And here's one from one of them. It is simply no longer possible to believe much of the clinical research that is published, or to rely on the judgment of trusted physicians or authoritative medical guidelines. I take no pleasure in this conclusion, which I reached slowly and reluctantly over my 2 decades as an editor of a New England Journal of Medicine. So the New England Journal of Medicine being one of the prestigious medical journals. The other one is to do with the Lancet as well. And she goes into more detail, but being that she's a physician and a longtime editor-in-chief of this journal, it gives credibility. There is longer, there's actually published work where they go into the limitations of research. But there's also a fellow who actually was an executive of a big pharma company, and this person named Dr. Rost, and a little short video there, Dr. Peter Ross, working with as an executive in one of the pharmaceutical companies, had said that they have a lot of money. And because they have a lot of money, these researchers and scientists and professors of the universities don't have a lot of money. And this is where you get the influence, right? Influence, which I say outcome, to what is going to be communicated, what position is going to be taken, if you are going to recommend the drugs to people more readily, and so forth and so forth. It's just for all of us to know that this is a system, right? This is the system that has been created, where a number of the medical doctors will tell you that they don't get much training in health or nutrition. But not all of them are still on the same page with just giving drugs these days. They will say, let's work with what we have. But there are people that are going, I'll go to a different doctor, to get drugs. If you're not going to give me drugs, I'll choose another doctor. Like, it's the people that are also demanding it too. So if you want drugs, you don't want drugs, there's probably out there for both of you. But it is well known that, in me being privy to some of the doctors, that they will pull in research and studies and have the certain drugs to work with, whether it's blood pressure and so forth. So it's not, we have to understand, medicine has its place, and it surely isn't the thing that caused the disease, and it surely isn't the thing that's going to fix, or let's say get at the root cause of disease, right? it manages at most the symptoms. And if you're okay with managing the symptoms, then as people, your choice is to go the drug route, right? So we can be grateful that we have choices, but it is understanding what is transpiring. And I always say to my clients, go and read the side effects or the symptoms that are caused by medicine or pharmaceutical drugs or whatever you want to call them. Go and read them and educate yourself on what it is, so that you understand and look for certain things that are happening, because there's different medications out there and you can choose different ones or change them up. That thing, hi Vern. And so forth. So the biggest thing here really is, again, understanding that much of what is being communicated out there, be it clinical or programs, may very well be part of the money, power, outcome scenario, which is the money that's funding the research, the money that's going towards the programs in the schools, medical schools and the like. They are by pharmaceutical companies, and as Dr. Rosset, who was an executive at a pharmaceutical company, said, they by far will pull the heavy, the heavy hand. Do you want some research money? Great, we'll give you some research money, but you have to do this. And that's the way it is. So if you're a researcher, if you're somebody, that's your livelihood, that's what you chose to do, that's what you like to do, then you have to see where your bread is being buttered from and make decisions. And that's that. So anyway, enough about that. What else I want to talk about? So yeah, just if you can, I'll post the link below regarding the blog, and then you can just see what little bit. It won't take you long. Again, it'll just give you that picture, and you'll be better educated on kind of what's happening out in that kind of a world, and then draw your own conclusions and do more research as well. But with that, the other thing that I wanted to bring up today is intuition. So many times we are in positions where we want to do things, or we feel that we have our choices to do. And it could be that you're going, well, I do want this to happen, and I want it to work this way, and this is how I want it all to kind of work out. But that's not exactly how it works. So with intuition, you're able to, as the phrase goes, go with the flow. And going with the flow is going to be much more elegant. Yeah, that's my dog Shadow. Much more elegant for us if we just, maybe make decisions and understand we have choices, but feel out the intuition, or in some cases work with your higher self as to how that looks. And basically we want to, how can I say it? We want to develop that. Now that's another important thing too, is to actually develop your intuition. How do you develop your intuition? It's going to be different for most people. But one of the things I find that people get started on is understanding the meditation. That meditation will quiet the mind, and you can probably, oh, there's my dog. Okay, Shadow, enough barking. And you could quiet the mind. So it's going into that space more and more. So quite frankly, most people are familiar with the mindfulness, and they're familiar with meditation, and they're carving out that part of the day where you want to be quiet. Sit still, go in silence, or perhaps you are doing a guided meditation and so forth. But just take that into your non-meditative times where you just clear your head. You may focus on objects. You may just be listening to somebody speak. You may just be driving. You may be just mesmerized by nature, perhaps. But there is a being in the now kind of feeling, and the head is clear. And you can just see kind of what's feeling. You may decide, well, I'm going to turn left instead of right. And developing it is just having those moments more and more and focusing on it. So like anything, you have to focus on it. Do we call it discipline? That sounds like you got a lot of work to do. But just, you want to be as intuitive more of the time. And, some days you might be more intuitive than other days just because you're busy. But intuition is going to be very, very helpful. And the reason why I kind of say and bring up intuition is when we're reading documents like Money, Power, Outcome, or reading research, or kind of listening to people, we don't want to think of it as black and white. We want to be able to see and resonate how we feel about what it is that we're looking at, because it's not, even though I wrote this article, obviously not all research is kind of down that path. So we can use our intuition to kind of better judge and get a good feeling, or get a feeling on what we think about it without being so judgmental and so forth. So that's all for today. Live at 5 on Facebook, Mondays with moi, or I'll say avec moi. I want to wish you a great week. Have a good day and focus being quiet to see what will pop into your head, see what so we can develop any intuition, and just let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear how it's going for you. Take care, everyone. Have a great evening. Bye for now.